Trump's tariffs are brilliant.
We're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, we're going to give it to our farmers.
So brilliant, he already has to bail out U.S. farmers.
E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a pig.
How do you get to be president and you're stupid?
Welcome to the party, Donnie. We have been asking that question for many years. Trump is still acting like his fucking tariffs are making the United States rich. He thinks we are stupid enough to continue believing that tariffs are just extra money, just a bonus.
Tariff is my favorite word in the dictionary.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
One of my favorite words is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but I know the United States has about the same chance of getting rich off of that word as we do off of the word tariff. I am so glad we are in this hot mess together, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get into it. Farmers paid a heavy price last time Trump was in office, but many of them still voted for him again. Did they seriously think this time was going to be different?
This time for sure.
Nope. Trump has done nothing but shit on farmers since he took office again in January, canceling major programs that have financially benefited farmers for years. Farmers have become one of the biggest contingencies in the FAFO, fuck around and find out movement. Even the president of the Czech Republic got in on the lunacy, posting this cartoon to his Instagram. He has since deleted it, and I wonder what staffer told him to delete it, because it definitely was not Trump. Trump doesn't even know what the Czech Republic is. U.S. farmers are growing some booming crops this year. They're currently harvesting soybeans, which is expected to be a record yield in 2025. But who's going to buy those soybeans? Because the U.S.'s biggest soybean customer, China, has not yet placed an order.
USDA Secretary Brooke Rollins visited Kansas City on Thursday, and a major point of emphasis was cost of production and international trade. Corn and stress is growing on Marty Richardson's fifth-generation farm.
I don't know if it's hope or what. There's just got to be a kick in this market.
USDA Secretary Brooke Rollins paid him a visit and spoke to ag representatives in downtown Kansas City on Thursday, sharing USDA's priorities focused on lowering production costs and trade.
We have to get these markets open. We have to stop relying on one country perhaps as our largest buyer.
China is a major U.S. soybean buyer, but not this year.
With zero purchase orders right now.
Rollins told Midwest Farm Groups it's prioritizing new trade agreements in other markets with different commodities like ethanol, beef, and rice. But soybeans are being harvested now.
China is a critical trade partner. They're also really difficult when it comes to trade negotiations.
Missouri Farm Bureau President Garrett Hawkins touts the administration's trade practices.
We've got to see more progress as soon as possible.
The upfront cost of planting and harvesting these crops has risen exponentially in recent years, and farmers are not going to be able to pay their bills if they cannot sell these crops.
You know, we want to do what's right for our country. We also want to do what's right for the world. The world is important. I mean, you know, it's the world, right?
Excellent point, Donald. Yes, the world is important. And the U.S. is an important player in that world, an important player in the world economy. How's that going for us so far?
Found $31 billion. They said, sir, we found 31. I said, you mean positively, right? They said, yeah, 31 million more than we knew. And they said, we don't know where it came from. I said, check the tariff shelf. They came back the following morning. They said, you're right, sir, it came from the tariffs.
The tariff shelf? Is that above the cereal shelf? And good Lord, whether these tariffs are coming from a shelf or a friggin' bank account, it's not free money, it's not extra money. These tariffs have been paid by U.S. importers, U.S. businesses, and the cost of those tariffs have either been absorbed by those companies or, more likely, the costs have been passed on to U.S. consumers.
And we're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, we're going to give it to our farmers, who are for a little while going to be hurt until it kicks in. The tariffs kick into their benefit. So we're going to make sure that our farmers are in great shape because we're taking in a lot of money.
Wait, Donald. You said farmers were going to make a windfall off of this tariff plan. Now you're telling us they need a bailout, and you're going to pay for that bailout using our money?
The president has always said before me that he would stand in the gap if necessary, and I think we're at the point where we all agree we're probably at necessary.
Kansas Farmers Union told me in a statement that farmers are on the brink of collapse, and this administration says just give it time. Farmers don't have time to wait.
Farmers are holding on to their crops as long as they possibly can, hoping for a last-minute deal with China.
Are you concerned of escalation beyond the trade war with China?
No, I'm not concerned. I think President Xi's a very smart guy, and I think we'll end up making a very good deal for both.
It appears China is making a very good deal, but only for themselves, completely cutting us out of it. Why did Trump think this tariff plan was going to work in 2025? When he tried it last time in 2018, farmers paid a really heavy price. And why did so many farmers, members of the FFAFO crowd, vote for Trump again? Did they know they were going to get a bailout, or are they just getting super lucky because Trump's popularity is tanking and he really wants to save face? Following the trade war of Trump's first term, China planned ahead. They invested heavily in agriculture in places like Brazil and Argentina. They were preparing for a scenario just like this.
The USDA estimates farmers lost $27 billion in exports during the 2018-2019 trade war.
The president starting another round of tariff wars or trade wars. It couldn't come at a worse time because approximately half of our soybeans from the United States and Minnesota that goes to China directly. When he did the previous trade or tariff war in 2018-19, China invested in a lot of infrastructure in Brazil, direct investment in our competitors.
The geniuses of the world, they get it. Our country is very strong. We were left a very, very weakened country, both economically, financially, because of all of the tariffs and all of the other companies just raiding us and ripping us off.
Look how pleased those geniuses are, chuckling as they stand behind Trump in April when he announced 125% tariffs on China. Geniuses. Such geniuses, they have already brought us to bailout territory. But who's really to blame?
Biden allowed these people to get away with murder. Biden allowed China to just take advantage of us. We had like $1 trillion deficit with China, $1 trillion deficit.
Oh, right. Biden's fault, of course. I should have known. Was it also Biden's fault in 2018 when farmers also lost a shit ton of money and they still haven't recovered? A detailed analysis of the 2018 tariffs that were implemented showed that, not surprisingly, 100% of the financial burden from those tariffs were paid by the people of the United States. Over half of the soybeans grown in the United States are sold to China, and most of those sales take place between October and December each year. And although farmers are still holding out hope, with no orders placed yet, it's not looking good.
China is a major U.S. soybean buyer, but not this year.
With zero purchase orders right now.
I don't know how you can be that stupid. How do you get to be president and you're stupid?
That's a question we are going to be asking for many, many years to come, and I am so glad we get to ask that question together. For Really American Media, I am Corinne Straight. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Let's keep this conversation going. I'll see y'all next time.